Forward to this night for 3 years. It's been a long, long journey, a long process, and it's been a lot of hard work, but here we are now. Anything is possible, that's what I believe. And but before I get into that, I wanted to thank, like Danielle, I wanted to thank the very, very important people who have made this possible. We wouldn't be able to do this without the wonderful staff here at the Millennium Library. And there are 3 people I wanted to thank as well. One is Tanis Gretzinger that Danielle mentioned, and unfortunately she's not here, but she's been a huge support for this project, and I've worked with her for a long, long time, and her commitment to it has been incredible. So I really appreciate that. And the other 2 people, of course, are both in this room. One is Danielle, who just spoke, and thank you so much, Danielle, for believing in the project and for being such a wonderful support to this. And, of course, as well, Kathleen Williams, who is in the front taking photos this evening, also a huge support to this project, and I'm just so grateful for that, because we wouldn't be able to be here without these incredible women, so let's give them a hand. Please. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Janine Legal, or Janine Legal in French, though my French is getting rusty. It is in fact my first language. And I am the facilitator and founder of the Writing Your Voice, Writing Your Voice, my God, you can tell I'm excited. I can't speak anymore. Finding Your Voice writing program for new Canadians, which was started in 2007. And it was started here at the library in Meeting Room 1. And the library's been very, very kind to us. We've been able to meet here for the last 4 years now. And the program has been open to all new Canadians. And in that time, I have had the privilege and the honor of meeting new Canadians from so many different countries in the world. It's actually incredible, the people that I've met through this program. And the book that most of you have in your hands, The Past is Another Country, tonight features 12 of those new Canadians. And the 12 that are featured here were some of the first to take the program. And I remember sitting in the meeting room during our sessions, and we would talk about this dream that I started to have, which was to be able to have a place for them to share their stories, because the stories that I heard in this room were so incredible. Some of them were really funny, some of them were incredibly sad and painful, but they all shared a common element, and that was just such a strong, they all had such strong voices, and I wanted that diversity to be celebrated in a way that people could share and experience. So this is what this is. This is a collection of those 12, some of those stories, 12 of them. So tonight we're going to hear from a few of those writers. Some of them will speak to you about what the program was like for them, and one of them will actually read the story that he's written in the book. So I'm going to leave the rest of the evening to them, and after that we're going to socialize and eat and drink and be merry. So I just wanted to, before I bring up the writers, I wanted to say that for me, the reason this is so important for me is that I've had such incredible experience over the years meeting people from everywhere in this world, and my main philosophy in life is to try to build understanding among people and to work through differences and to celebrate those differences. And you know, I'm an old hippie, and I believe in love and peace, and this is what this is about. No matter where you're coming from, whatever your original language may be, there's always a way to find the balance, and there's always a way to communicate with people and to build respect and understanding and to make friends with people who may be different than you are. And that's something that, you know, my life has been so greatly enriched as a result of the people that I have met. And honestly, I consider myself one of the richest human beings on this earth because of the people that I've met from, as I said, literally all over the world. So this is a really important celebration for me tonight. So I'd like to invite first, actually he's going to read his story. Alan, who is originally from the Philippines, and he was a journalist actually in the Philippines, and is still a journalist. And he's got a wicked sense of humor and a really delightful way of writing. And I'm going to invite him and have him read his story to you. And it's a real pleasure for me to introduce to you Alan Balingit. Thank you.
My family and me is the hazy outline of Winnipeg. That day almost 3 years ago signifies an end to an old chapter and the beginning of a new one. After things settle down following the excitement of migrating here, we are confronted with a certain dose of anxiety in anticipation of the future. Facing uncertainties without the comfort of a familiar environment and the support of relatives and friends, trying to start a new life and moving on in a foreign land is tough. I know that now. Adjusting is not easy. I felt like a fish out of water, wriggling and struggling steadfastly to reach and join the abundant waters of this great nation. Hundreds of resumes and a couple of interviews later, the first chapter remains unfinished. For sure, I am not alone in this situation. Most new immigrants face the same dilemma. It is either sink or swim. But what is important is that you know where you want to go. That I know also. I want to pursue my career in the media industry. That is where I want to go in terms of my professional career here. For more than a decade, I work as a journalist, and I dream of regaining that spirit of fulfillment. But for now, I have a daunting responsibility requiring constant emotional checks, immediate responses, and undying devotion. There are 3 precious people who came along with me from the Philippines, my wife and 2 lovely daughters. Winnipeg is giving me an opportunity to learn something new. Since childhood, the opposite sex had been an enigma to me. They talk, dress, act, and smell differently from us bewildered sons of Adam. Astounding is their capability of abruptly changing disposition from happy to sad, sad to mad, and mad to mother. As a stay-at-home dad, I have come to learn more of their nature than I ever had a chance to discover back home. And I have Winnipeg to thank for that. The lure of the distant and the difficult is deceptive. The great opportunity is where you are, John Boros once said. That reminds me of one early morning while I was mopping up an all-night baking spree at a well-known donut shop where I used to work. When a former co-worker at the store came in for a coffee, he approached me to ask me how I was feeling. Tired, unkempt, and without sleep. I guess I committed some kind of apopa. Good, great, not too bad, or fine was supposed to be the correct response, right? Not knowing what came over me exhausted, I blurted out frustrated. I'm still here, looking for the bright future. You are standing on it, buddy, you are standing on it, he said, with conviction. Looking down at the dirty ceramic floor, I couldn't see anything bright other than the product signs hanging above his spaced-out head. With my back aching and hands sore, I finished mopping up the floor, trying to make it cleaner and whiter in time for the influx of customers eager for their morning brew. Looking fresh and recharged, the people seemed to come out of the store with renewed vigor, a hot cup of coffee in hand to start a new day. Each day brings new challenges, and with it hope. My wife often reminds me of this. Her soothing encouragement rattles me off my slumber. Things may not always come our way, but when they do, seize them, she says. She's right. Our life here hasn't been that easy. Work is as elusive as true friends. I still believe that opportunities are out there, though I haven't found them yet. But for sure, when they come, she'll be right there encouraging me to grab them. The hazy outline of Winnipeg may be clearing up. The picture is not yet what we envision it would be. But it doesn't matter. The next chapter will be written, and it starts now. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Winnie to come up and just talk about her experience and share some of that with us. So please help me welcome Winnie Abraham.
Hello everyone, my name is Winnie and I'm one of the participants of this book. this has been such a great experience for me. I think I've learned so much from this, and it definitely has been one of the best experiences in my life. I remember the first time I joined Finding Your Voice program. As Janine said, we were actually the original group. Was in 2007, and that was the second day I arrived here in Canada. And I actually remember three of my days that when I first arrived. The first day I got here in 2007 in September, on the 10th, I think, midnight. And the second day I went to school, because school usually here in Canada starts September 4th, and I was like a week late, and I was like, no, this can't be happening to me. I really wanted to be at school because I was off school for like a year. And then the next day, my brother was like, Winnie, I told him I'm gonna take a bike to school, and he's like, you don't know how to bike, I don't think you should be going to school with a bike. I'm like, no, I'm fine with biking. And so I took my bike to school, and I was coming back, and I got hit by a bus, hardcore. I was like right under the bus, and my brother comes. He was expecting that, so he was like, I was actually like right under the bus, because the good thing is I didn't actually get hurt, but no, everyone was like, no, you can't move. They got out of, like, people got out of the bus, and they're like, no, you can't move, you have to stay here. So I stayed there, and my brother comes in, and he was like, oh, hi there, you're exactly where I expected you to be. And then they took me to the hospital, and the next day I was fine, so I came to the Millennium Library. No, actually the first day I asked my counselor, I was like, Miss Counselor, I really need to publish a book. And she was like, yeah, you just got here, and she was like, but do you have notes? Like, do you actually write? I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, in which language? Is it really in English? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of broken English, but it is English. And she was like, well, maybe someday. And then she gave me the information about the Millennium Library. And there I met Jenny with a smiley face, and she was telling a story about, this newcomer that came, and she got hit by the bus, and I was like, that's me. So that was really interesting. And the funny thing is, it was on the newspaper, so I felt it was so important. Like, I felt I was really important. So I was like, I've never been on the newspaper in my life. Yeah, this is a big deal. But it was funny because it says something like a miracle, survival of a miracle, newcomer or something. It was in big letters, but to me it was really important. I was like, yay, I was in the newspaper. It's not a success story or any victory, but it's a big deal, so I was happy. Anyways, so right after I joined Finding Your Voice program, I really got hooked to it. It was really interesting. It's something I always wanted to do. It's something that I never really thought I would publish a book. I never thought it would be a day like this, but I always wished there would be a day like this. So for me, this is like really, really important day, and I am so grateful, Janine. I have no idea how I can thank you and the Millennium Library as well. So I've been with Finding Your Voice program for a while now. As I said, this is my third year, and I've also been facilitating for other youth program and now like adult program. I've been doing this with Jody, who is over there smiling, and it has been such a good experience meeting so many people who share the same interests and the same, just so generous sharing their stories. And I think that's what I really missed in my life, is just having that circle of people that have the same interests and sharing stories and being really open and genuine, and it has been such a good experience for me, and I'm really, really grateful, Janine. I don't know how to thank you, but I have a piece of art. with Finding Your Voice program. Janine said as an old hippie, she likes to use love, peace, those words. So I made, I think it's upside down. I didn't have time. I've been working, I don't even, just so many hours, so I didn't have time to finish it, but I worked on this. Janine's favorite words are love and peace. And in our program, we've been saying, find your voice. This is a place to find your voice. This is a place to express your feelings and your thoughts and all these deep, really important secrets that you have. Express it. That's what has been happening. So this says, find your voice. And Janine's favorite song is Imagine. And she actually has a tattoo that says Imagine, if you don't mind me saying that. And it's written here on the wall, and it says Imagine. I hope you like it, Janine.
Oh, that's beautiful. My goodness.
And thanks everyone for coming today. This really means a lot to us. So thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Winnie. My goodness, that's beautiful. Yeah, I didn't mention that she's also an incredible visual artist. I'm sort of verklempt. What is the word? I'm trying not to cry now. It's all your fault, Winnie. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to ask next another one of our wonderful contributing writers. Florence came to us. She's originally from Nigeria, and she is a wonderful children's story writer. And I know that was one of her original goals in the program, was to be able to share some of the wonderful stories coming out of Nigeria, specifically for children. So we managed to get one of her lovely stories in the book, in the collection. And Florence is going to come up and talk just a little bit about what the program was like for her. So please help me welcome Florence.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Florence Okudole, and I'm from Nigeria. One of the experiences of immigrants in this country, writing a book is not one of them, or one of the ambitions of an immigrant, but rather how to settle, how to make ends meet, and how to pay their bills, and then how to settle some of the families we have left behind. So coming to Winnipeg or to Canada, it was tough for us, and along the line you kind of forget your dream, your inner passion. But then, one day, I read in the newspaper there was this call for immigrants who have the mind of writing a story. And then I thought to myself, okay, maybe since I have some spare time, maybe I could come in and see what it's going to offer me. I have been a profound reader of novels, and I loved kids, and I grew up in a dual environment. I was born in the city in Nigeria, and my parents lived in the city, but we always make this journey back home, once in a while to visit grandma. And those experiences, I and my brother, I found out recently that it turns out to be that we are just different from other siblings. It's just the two of us that care so much about animals and so much about playing around. So when you come to my house, we play around a lot. And these are things that I got from going to the village and spending time with my grandma. And I've always had that passion to put it in writing, because when I look at my kids now, there is no time to play. Children are always busy with their game, handheld game, and there is tons of activities for kids that takes them away from the real children's play. I realized that I learned a lot playing as a child. There are things that my mom taught me, my parents taught me, but I learned more and skills of life through visiting my grandma. And I thought, this is interesting, I'm going to put it down in writing. And raising my own kids, I tell them stories a lot. We role play, we do things. Somebody becomes a dog, somebody pretends to be a cat, and things like that. So they are used to it. When I joined this program, I never knew where it was taking us. It was a program that really, for the first time, you start wondering, what is it all about? Well, another place to go spend the time. But finally, when I joined, in fact, I actually joined with my husband. And we came here for some time, but he's not that writing type, but he has the story to tell, but not the writing type. So he dropped out. And then I continued. And then once in a while he will ask me, how was it going? I said, it's going well. And I remember when I was told to contribute, and I said, you know, I really want to write on children's story. I don't know whether you will like it. That's my own piece. And Jenny said, that's wonderful. I said, oh, so somebody cares. I didn't know how the audience will take it, how people will take it. But even when we were writing about it, contributing, I'm thinking, I even sent her an email. I said, please, if it's going to bring down the book, just take it out. I don't mind. Just take it out. I know someday somebody might want some stories meant for kids, and they will get it. And anyway, and that's how it was. And it has been an interesting time. I got to meet a lot of people, wonderful people in the group. Jenny was lovely, very, very nice. You know, we immigrants, because of the problems associated with settling down, when you see a smile that comes from the heart, it means a lot for you. It really means a lot. When you see somebody really, really smiling, not faking it, but really interested in you, in hearing you out, you know, it becomes such a huge deal to us. And that was what that kept me in the group. I have expressed myself in various forms in the community, still around children. I coordinate a lot of things still around kids and youth. But this book was such a big deal. Even today I was looking at it, I'm like, am I the one? I said, is this real? And I must say thank you to Jenny, because she made this possible. For us, you know, because we have other things to do and then we have to do this, I will say that she did most of the job herself. I remember writing my own piece about a home. I was thinking, a home, how can I describe a home? And when I finished writing it, my husband said, a mouse? Did you really see a mouse in the house? I said, yes. It's part of our habitat. It's part of the things that we share this world with. And they are in here for us to enjoy and live with, whether we like them or not. We cannot stamp them out. And my kids made a big deal out of it. But the reason why I also chose the home is, I remember the first time we came to Canada, I got my son a pet, and it was a hamster. And my son didn't really like the hamster, but nobody wanted to touch the hamster, so I was the only one touching the hamster, feeding the hamster, doing everything with the hamster. And somebody walked into my house one day and said, you are feeding a rat? What would you feed? If you have excess, please give me. You know? And they can't believe that a hamster is something that we also have to care for. But anyway, one day I walked into the cage, and I walked in, and the hamster was dead in the cage. I was so sad. I was so sad. I felt so bad. I remembered my grandmother. What in the world would she say that I was in the house and the hamster died? So I started crying. And my two sons felt it was so funny that I was crying for a hamster. But I recollected what my grandmother would have thought, that for you to leave an animal to die in a cage means neglect, means that you don't care. And all this was racing back in my head, but my kids have nothing. And that gave me the perception to think that children have lost the connection between human being and an animal. And I looked at them and I said, it's not funny. Mom, you are crying for a hamster. It's dead. I said, no. Why did he die? Something was wrong. Maybe we didn't play with him enough. Maybe we didn't do this. But that's one of the reasons why I chose this, to write on the home. Because in our home, we might clean it as much as we like. There are other things God has put in there to live with us. We might not see them sometimes, but they are there. And they make part of the home. It's their house, whether you like it or not. They are there with you. So thank you to Finding Your Voice. Thank you to Winnipeg Library, and thank you. Because I never see myself one day holding a book that I can contribute on. I had it in my mind, in my inner part, but I never knew that the wish will always come true. So thank you, Jenny, and please give a book.
Thank you so much, Florence. What wonderful people, and you can see why I get all excited. Like I'm really holding myself back because I just really do want to do a big happy dance, but I can't do that right now. Maybe I'll do it later. But there's some amazing people as part of the program, and I'm just going to invite, I think, one more. I can't see the time. Yes, I think we're going to have one more. Daniela. Daniela is originally from Macedonia, and she is a delightful writer, and see, she's so eager to get up here that I didn't even have a chance to say anything about her. I remember when she joined the program, she was a little hesitant and highly critical of her own writing skills. So I tried to encourage her a lot because I could see that she really desperately wanted to get her stories out, and so with a little gentle, kind pushing, it worked, and I think the story in the book is it called Home? Yeah, it is also about home, and it's a really delightful story, and all of you will have a chance to read the stories after this evening. So she's just going to come up and share a little bit about her experience with the program, and by the way, I'm not inviting people up here just to thank me. I'm inviting them to come up here to talk, to share their experiences. Really, I didn't stage this. Trust me, I didn't. And then after that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the future of the program, but we're going to do that afterwards. So please help me welcome Daniela.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ruben Everstow. But Janine said not to thank you, and I cannot not to thank you. In fact, I'm going to say a big thank you to her, because I said before I had a couple of radio interviews, and in one of them I mentioned, like all of us have some uniqueness and talents, and sometimes we're able to discover that within ourselves, but sometimes we need somebody to push a little bit of that. And yeah, this person has been, Janine, so motivating and inspiring, and pushed the best of us to, open up and to write and to say, yeah, it's great, good job, and you feel, oh, okay, yeah, I guess maybe it is great, oh, keep doing it. So it has been a great experience for me, and I have been in one of the first group, and I just heard it was the best group. Honestly, it was awesome. Like, I couldn't wait to go into the class, and we had so much fun there. It was like a therapy, we all talk about funny stories that we go through while going through immigration life, and talk about our countries, how different they are. It's like listening to the news from the first hand. Even better, you get to hear how people face the challenges there, the wars and everything, So one of my stories when I came here was, okay, the first 2 weeks were shocking. You don't know where you are. I thought I'm on vacation. We didn't appear vacation. We didn't have furniture, no phone. I didn't even think of that will happen. We didn't know where to go buy groceries or anything, and we were totally relying on 2 friends we had here to come and take us, to show us, oh, you buy bread here, you buy clothes there, and stuff like that. So after the 2 weeks, and we knew how to get around, that was better, and here I am, discovering the world around, and being, I don't know how to say, so impressed with everything, the houses, the yards, and people that talk to you, the yard sale that we don't have in our countries, correct? Like, we buy stuff for great deals, it's so good, So, and another thing, it's like, okay, I said, let's go to see how it's on a bus ride. My son has never been, and let's go. So I asked my caretaker how to buy a ticket, where to go on a bus, and where to get off. And I'm so excited I'm in the bus, and I know where I am and where to get off. And then just before going out, I'm like, how do I open the door? Like, the door doesn't open. And I'm like, the bus will go. I'm like, how do I open the door? Somebody says, press the yellow thing. So I'm looking, yellow, and I see up there yellow, and I'm jumping and pressing the yellow, and it doesn't open. And they keep saying the yellow the door open. I was like, oh my goodness, even that has to be different here. I have taken bus before, but didn't know that, everything has to be different. Sorry. And another story, when I started driving here, as I said, everything is different. In our country, the traffic lights are right here, and you stop and you look at them like that. While here, you drive and the traffic lights are there. So it was evening, and I was so concentrated to drive, properly, and I'm stopping, and everybody's honking at me. I'm like, what? And I'm in the middle of the street because I stopped where the lights are. Oh my goodness. So yeah, some of those experiences, and yeah, it has been really hilarious to hear those kind of stories from all of us in the group, and sometimes even write about it. It has been like a therapy to me, like I came with my son and my husband, and we didn't have any close friends or relatives, so meeting with this group, it was like, getting together with your relatives, and Janine being so supportive and motivating, and it just makes you like so excited. Oh, I'm going to my class. And I could never even dream I'm going to be in a book in Canada. Honestly, my parents were immigrants in Germany years ago, and they didn't go to school, or they just worked there, made money, went in our country and opened a business. And that's how it was, and they kept talking how it was difficult, cleaning or working whatever, just to make money. So I was thinking, okay, I'll go in Canada, I'll maybe learn the language, work in manufacturing, and pay my bills and see how it is there. If I don't like it, I'll always go back. And then, hey, people learn English here. There is schools for free. And I thought, wow, that's a great opportunity. I should take advantage of it. And I did. I didn't speak English when I came. So I went 8 months in school and I learned English. And then I saw this advertising that, there is creative writing in the Millennium Library, and there's a picture of Janine smiling with a nice creative hat. I'm like, yeah, that does look like a creative writing. And she looks so happy and creative, so positive. So I joined the club, and it has been wonderful. So yeah, I couldn't even dream that one day in Canada, in English, I will be in a book, one of the writers. And it's like a dream, dream come true. People say in Canada, dream can come true. I couldn't believe, and I guess I should. It's a beautiful country, it's a great country. Like when I got my Canadian citizenship, they asked me, what does that mean to you? And I said, you know what, it means like citizenship to the world, because now I can travel all over the world with this passport. And also, I get to see all these people from all over the world here at one place. So even if you don't have money to travel, you get to see them, get to know them here, get to hear all what's going on there, so you get the picture at least. So it's beautiful, it's a wonderful country, and my story home, it's about that home can be your entire world as long as you have wonderful people around you, there is safe and justice, and I think I have found that here. It's beautiful, besides the winter. Yeah, not sure if I wanted to say something else. Yeah, as I said, we all have some talents and uniqueness, and Janine has been like engine on a train. Like we are all trains that carry goods, but she was the engine pushing the train to go, So I wanted to mention this because I wanted to say it, not to forget. 3 things that I didn't mention in the radio interviews before, and I so badly wanted. I'm from Macedonia, and there is 3 interesting stuff that I want to say. Macedonia, it's a biblical land. That's what I heard from people that believe in God. And they showed me a map, like an old map, that Macedonia is there, in the Bible. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I knew there is a story in the Bible about Macedonia and how people have been nice to Jesus followers, spreading the word, and like good stuff about Macedonia. So I'm so proud of that, and I wanted to tell you that. And another thing is, some of you might have seen the movie Alexander the Great. His real name is Alexander Macedonian, actually. Yes, he was a ruler in Macedonia, but that was like about 600 centuries ago, before the Christ, so it was a long time ago. But still, these days, Macedonia exists as a very little country, like a dot on the map in South Europe. So we're still proud that we had sometime this history and that we had this famous person. I'll say more famous for me, it was his father, Philip Macedonian, and that's how my son has his name, Philip. He's here. And the spelling is the same. It's F-I-L-F, which is very unique. I didn't know that before I was coming to Canada. I thought it's universal name. It appeared to be different spelling, like everything else is different here. The third thing is it's a Skopje, a capital city of Macedonia, which is a birthplace of Mother Teresa, and it's a memorial house now after she died in the capital city of Skopje. I'm proud of that she's such a wonderful person. She did so many great things, and it's a great example to follow, hopefully. And yeah, she was born in Macedonia. So I missed to say these 3 things on the 2 radio interviews I had because I was so nervous, and said them now. So thank you so much, and yeah, big thank you to Janine because yeah, she made all this possible. She's a wonderful person, great teacher, all the best. I'm glad I met her in my life, and all of you that were in the writing club. And she's been a great experience. Thank you.